My name is Carina and welcome to the Carina Chronicles. Today I will read 3 thrillers, this big chunky paperback and 2 on my e-reader. And I never read thrillers, so I'm really excited and let's see if this is a new genre for me. I mentioned when I started reading this book, being Beneath the Mountain by Luca and Andrea, that I thought I'd never read a thriller before. I am coming back to that now because that's not true. I did read a thriller before, but it was a very thin, short story. And it was really exciting and I was really scared, but I really liked it. But it was a short story and that feels different than a whole thriller. You know what I mean? So this is actually the first book that is like a whole big chunky paperback, just a thriller. And I read that it was going to be a very slow one, at least a slow start. That is what most people were complaining about if they had kind of bad reviews. And I get what they mean. I am just not very used to reading thrillers and I love this book up till now. But I think when you plan on reading a thriller, if you are like excited to pick up a new thriller, that you want it to be very exciting and thrilling. And up till where I am now, I'm a little bit over 100 pages. It's not that thrilling. It's a story. Someone is telling a story and we are at the murders right now. It's kind of a murder mystery and we are finally at the murders, but we are a quarter into the book and it's not yet thrilling or scary in any way. So I can imagine that if you pick this up to be a thriller, if you want to be scared because you are in the vibe of reading that you're a little bit disappointed from the beginning. For me, because I'm not a mood reader, I just pick up what I need to pick up next in my TBR. I am not in a certain mood. I don't want to be scared per se. So I just read and it's very well written. It's very high paced. You have like chapters of 15 or 20 pages, but all the paragraphs are numbered as well. So you really have short pieces with text and then you have another subject, another scene. And it goes really fast and I really like it up till here. It takes place in Italy in a small village and I think it's very descriptive. You really feel like you're also in this small village. So I love it up till now and I'm really curious to see how I will end up liking the rest of this book and how I will end up liking the ending, because that is of course one of the most important things for thrillers. And after that, I'm reading Circe, but you have already seen that reading vlog. Because when I'm filming this intro, I am still reading Beneath the Mountain. Afterwards, I'm going to read Circe, but I wanted to spend a whole reading vlog on that. So I've posted that already last week, I hope. I hope everything went well. Otherwise there will probably be some big text above here like, no, everything went wrong, I didn't read it, I don't know. But my plan is to read this, then read Circe. But I think I will finish this one very soon, also because it reads so quick. And then I will read 2 more thrillers. I'm like in the mood or something, but they are next on my TBR. They are both review copies by Teresa Burrell. And one is called No Consent. That one is together with an author called Sellers. And one is by her own. It's called The Advocate. Both thrillers, both like 250 pages, so a lot shorter than this one. And both on the e-reader. So we will see how I like this. It will be a full thriller vlog. And I really hope that in the end I will be like, yes, this is one of my new favorite genres. I need more thrillers. So let's start. Hi, I have something really excited to tell. First, I wanted to update you on Beneath the Mountain that I'm reading, but I haven't really read much since the last time I updated. I really hate that I am having this little time to read because I really like it. And I feel that I am literally like at important times still thinking about this book, being like, oh, if I could just read like a few chapters. So that's really good. So for now, I think this book will be highly rated by me. So I'm really excited for that. But the thing I wanted to tell you was that a publisher called Hamley Books, it's a Belgian publisher, but also very popular in the Netherlands because they actually talk Dutch at this publisher. So a lot of Dutch readers actually buy their books, and they want to collaborate with me, which is really nice. They asked me to do blog tours for them. So if you don't know what it is, you get sent a book before it is released, and then right before it's going to be published, they tour different channels or accounts that all show you why you should buy this book. And of course, if you read it and you don't like it, then you go in conversation with this publisher, like, I don't really know if I should promote this one. But you choose books based on the synopsis and on the writer and on your favorite genre. So most of the times you don't hate the book. That almost never happens. But if that is the case, well, then you have a problem and you need to discuss it. But they chose me to do that as well. And I had 5 books I could choose from. They are all coming out mid-April until the end of May. And I could choose all 5 if I wanted to, but they recommended to do less if you were not sure if you could make it otherwise, because of course you need to read the books before you do these videos. And that takes a lot of time, so you shouldn't be too easy on that. So I chose to do 3 books. I thought for the first time doing this, 3 books is fine. They are also very spread out, so I have no time that I have 2 books at the same time, if you get what I mean. So when I get the book, I have fully focused on that book, and the day that I need to publish the videos, all are done before I receive my next book. So I think that's great. 2 of these books were very high on my TBR. One of them I would have even bought if they didn't send it to me, because I really want to read the book. So that's really cool. And the third one I really didn't know anything about, but it is loosely based on Dungeons and Dragons. So I think it fits me very well as well. So I'm really excited for that. They asked me to do the videos on TikTok. I will also post them here. So you will definitely see them, and I will talk about them a lot in my videos. But you can look forward to that in April, and I'm really excited that this publisher actually reached out to me, because this is just such a good perk of being a booktuber now, that you get free books that you wanted to have, and it's really, really cool. So really excited. Hi, I finished Beneath the Mountain, and this book is incredible. I couldn't remember ever reading a thriller. I remembered after a while that I actually did, but it was a short story. But this was like a more than 400 page book, and oh my god. I was so like fully focused on this book. I needed to do all kinds of chores yesterday after we had dinner. But I started reading like the last 250 pages and I just couldn't stop. I finished right before we needed to go to bed, which was perfect because otherwise I would have read the whole night. I was just so sucked into the story, and there were a lot of plot twists and reveals that I didn't see coming, which is great because it makes a thriller more fun. They were also not completely random or very far-fetched. It was really clear what happened and how. And I just really loved it. I really loved it. I gave the book 4 stars. It's not a 5 stars because I think the beginning was very slow, although I like the book more because I got to know the characters so well. So maybe it actually worked out, but I didn't enjoy myself that much in the beginning of the story. And also, some people, you know that it's not a spoiler, but in thrillers, people need to sometimes lie or hide things because otherwise the mystery gets too easy solved. if someone asks you, like, did you commit the murder? And they say, yes, I did. Well, then it's a short story, you know? So, of course, people lied in this story. And if you look backwards, I think some people were too good in lying, like for it to be believable, you know? That people were completely out of their minds because of emotions and still told the perfect lie so they couldn't be discovered, you know? I feel like that is a little bit weird. So that's why it's not 5 stars, but I really love this book. In this video I'm going to read 2 more other thrillers if I get to them, but at least one. I think I can get to them, by the way. So at least one, but maybe 2 others, and I will be able to compare them, but this one is really good. I would highly recommend it. Beneath the Mountain by Luca and Andrea. And I looked it up, and it's not adapted into a movie, and I don't know why. This was so perfect for a movie adaptation. I want it still. I am going to make a petition. No, but it was really good. I'm very happy I've read this. Ha! I've got 2 packages to unpack, to unbox, and books to haul. So let's quickly start with that. The first one is Loveless by Alice Oseman. I never buy books just randomly, but my sister, this is her favorite book. I also talked about it in my zodiac sign book tag about the zodiac sign Aries. This is her favorite book, and she was like being very, very serious with me. Please, Karina, I really want you to read this. It's very important to me. So I bought it so that I can now read it. I'm very curious to see. I know that Alice Oseman is from Heartstopper, which I also need to read, from Radio Science, which I also need to read. So I'm glad I'm finally starting with her books. I don't know yet when I will read it because I have a lot of review copies and a lot of book club books that are also here, but I will definitely make sure that I read this. And another one. Okay, this is even worse. Why am I so bad at this? Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. This one is the next book for the book club that I follow, that I don't go to the meetings, but I do read their books. And I'm really curious for this one. I've heard a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. I adore this cover. This is really beautiful. It's a very chunky paperback. I didn't realize. And of course, the second book in here is also already out. So, curious to see what this will bring. Hello. I have been reading No Consent by Teresa Burrell and LG Sellers. And I am honestly quite pleased with it. It feels like I have watched many detectives together with my mother and my sister when we were younger. Well, we were all younger, but I mean, when my sister and I were really children, we really liked that. And they were often very predictable, and it was always with a good ending, you know. And nothing really special, but just really enjoyable. And I feel the same about this detective, actually. I have nothing really to mention that's really worthwhile. I think it won't be a fantastic read, but it's something that goes very quick and is not written badly. And I'm really enjoying it. And there is like this main man character that's highly annoying with his talks about women. I always hate it when there's a character in there that does that, but it's fine. I think it will be like a 3-star rating, so it's not great, but enjoyable. Yeah, I would like to read more of these, just that because you go quickly through them. It's like
a rom-com movie, you know, that you sometimes watch not because it's so good, you wouldn't give it that high of a rating, but you still want to watch it sometimes. Well, I feel like that's this with the books. So yeah, enjoying my time actually. Hello. I'm filming randomly the bookcase because I don't want to spoil things yet. But last week it was 20 degrees. 20 degrees in the Netherlands. Sun, spring. I was so happy. And now, on the 1st of April, nature is pulling an April Fool's joke on us. Snow. I don't know if you can see it, but like on the roof, when I was upstairs, there's like a layer of a few centimeters. The whole garden is snowed. It's incredibly weird. Why? It's April. It was 20 degrees last week. It froze tonight. Anyway, I have 2 books to show you that I got from a friend, which is really nice. The first one is 642 Things to Write About. So these are writing prompts, and you can actually write little stories and little beginnings of stories. And it's really, really nice. I heard from a lot of writers this actually helps to come up with great stories, because sometimes you write a short story and you're like, no, this story isn't over. I need more of this. And then you have your new beginning for a book. So I hope that happens with me. I'm not yet finished with my old book, so I'm not going to use it now, because otherwise I'm getting excited and I will never finish the other one. So I'm going to use it after I finish this version of my book, but really nice. And I got it because she didn't use it, but she did cut out some parts that she used. So it's not 642 for me, more like 630, but I think that's enough. And I got a little something different. Everyone can see they're in love except them. This sounds so cheesy, but so cute. I never read romance, and I really like the cover actually. It's very pink, so that's nice. So yes, I still want to read this. I'm excited. By Sandy Hall. So thank you, Steph, for giving them to me. I'm really happy with that. Hello. I need to show you something. First things first, I bought a little notebook. It's this one. It's very small. And I have exactly the same, but with lines, for my Dungeons and Dragons adventures. And I thought it would be nice to have like a little side notebook with actually blank pages in there. So more like a bullet journal kind of thingy for the academic adventures of my Dungeons and Dragons character, because I'm joining this readathon. And I thought that would just be so cute. So I'm going to add my TBR and stuff in here. And just going to make a little art project of it. The readathon will take 4 years. I know, I can't even imagine where I will be in 4 years. But I hope I can participate in all readathons 2 per year, so 8 in this one. I think it will fit, and I think it will be a nice journal after I finished it. So, really happy with this. And then something else. I always don't understand why people have book buying bans. Of course I get that if you don't have enough money or enough room, or I don't know, that you should stop buying books. But I always don't get why people go into a bookstore and buy like 10. Like, I get it. I want it, but I would never do it because that's just too excessive, you know? So what I always do is I go into a bookstore, and beforehand I think of the books I want to buy in the next like 2 months, because I know which books I really want to have. And if they have one of those, I choose one and I buy one to support the bookstore. But it often happens that I walk out the bookstore without a book, because they don't have any of those that I thought of. But now my opinion on that changed, because I think it might be because I live in the Netherlands, and in my city we do not have that many books that I want to read. The books that they have are new Dutch books and very old classics English books. So, I mean, if I want to read Lord of the Rings, I can find it there in English and Dutch. But if I want to read A Gallant by V. Schwab, which I recently bought, there's a high chance it's not in that store. If I want to read, that's highly annoying. But now I found the bookstore accidentally when I was with my mother, and they had everything I wanted. And suddenly I understood the book buying ban, because I was like, yeah, but I order my books online so often. It's way more fun to buy them here. Why not buy them all? You know? And they just had those books. So I was really like, what is this? I need them all. So I didn't buy 10. I just bought one. But it is one book that I would usually have put on my TBR and have waited with it 2 more years, maybe 3 even. When I finally got to it, like, okay, yeah, but now I really need this book. But that it actually was sold in this bookstore was so special to me. I was like, no, I need this. Also because the shipping costs are mostly more expensive than the book itself because it's so small. So I was like, no, I need this book. So I bought Galatea by Madeline Miller because I've recently read Circe. I loved it. I loved the Song of Achilles as well. And this is the short story she wrote before she wrote both of those books. But people were like, okay, you can have a short story online, but we need more content of you. So can you please just publish it? And it was published in March this year. And I can't believe I already have it. I would never do this normally. It's so small, it's like a few pages. And I'm definitely going to read it soon because I just needed it in my bookcase. And now I feel like I'm on a book buying ban because I only bought one book, but it's a book that really was not high on my TBR plannings, but I need it. I was also like, oh no, I've read everything from Madeline Miller, and then suddenly in March of this year, she actually drops a new / old one. I hadn't read it online because I thought that was, I really hoped they would one day have like the binding and then I would want to read it for the first time like this. But yeah, really happy with it. So I finished both No Consent and The Advocate. I know I have a not so fairly spread out attention to the books because I talked way more about Beneath the Mountain. But I think Beneath the Mountain is a very interesting story, and both No Consent and The Advocate are more like chick lit thrillers, if you know what I mean. Both of these books were not memorable that much, but they were really enjoyable and quick reads. So, at the end of this vlog, I can conclude that I really like thrillers because Beneath the Mountain was incredible and I couldn't put it down. And I've read 2 books, just like normal amount of pages, that were also thrillers in like 3 days or something. So I think we can conclude that thrillers really work for me, and I'm really excited to have found that out. And I think I'm going to read more thrillers in the future. So yeah, really excited about that. I also want to thank again Teresa Burrell for sending both books my way. I really enjoyed it. So that was it. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. And comment down below your favorite thrillers because I can use some recommendations. If you subscribe to my channel and you click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I hope you'll have a lovely day filled with books. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Okay, this was my 4th video in a row, 4 days after each other. Now I will stop spamming you. But I did really like the videos I made, so I hope you did too.